I was 11 and my brother was 8 years old when my mother, Mercedes Helena Guilfoyle, passed away after a long and brave battle with leukemia. She was only 37 years old. Throughout her illness, I remember making a case with God, please help her live. I believe now that God did answer my prayers because she still lives on with me and she shaped me into who I am today.
All right, folks, you know who that is, certainly. That's Kimberly Guilfoyle. You watch her on the Fox News channel, host of The Five and Outnumbered, former San Francisco prosecutor, former First Lady of San Francisco. The credits go on and on and on, but also the author of a great new book, Making the Case, How to Be Your Own Best Advocate. It is so nice to welcome you to the show.
Yeah, nice to see
Thank
you
very
as well.
much.
It's a pleasure to be here.
You know, the clip we played and what you talk about and what the book talks about is the death of your mother at 11 years old made you the person that you are. And you know, usually you think of a kid at 11, sure, they'll remember the parent and everything, but it was such a relatively young age, but that made you the woman you are today. Explain.
It really did, and you know, I just feel so blessed to have had the time that I had with my mother. She made it so impactful in terms of how she raised me and my little brother, the values that she instilled in us, the way she inspired us, with how she lived her everyday life. She didn't make her life about her, she made it about other people, was always involved in service, whether it was working with children with special needs, learning differences, or emotionally abused children, to working in our school. She took time off when my brother and I were in school and then would go in and participate in our classrooms as a volunteer, you know, working as one of the den mothers for the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
So it was very sweet. So I really enjoyed the time that I had with her, and of course I was devastated when she passed away. She was, you know, incredibly loving and wonderful mother, but I feel that God didn't take her until she had instilled everything in us that we needed, those gifts and those tools.
So people should misunderstand. It was the life she led and what she did for you while she was alive that made you, and not that seeing her die and taking care of her while she was ill. It was when she was alive and giving you an example to live by.
Absolutely, and then my father really took it from there, and he wanted to make sure that that I was a young woman that was going to be, you know, filled with life and love, and also advocacy on my own behalf. That there wasn't anything that somebody could say or do to me that I wouldn't be able to advocate for myself. That I would live, you know, a powerful life. He felt that was the best way to honor the legacy and the memory, you know, of my mother, and make sure that anything that happened in life we'd be able to handle. So, for example, if I wanted to do something, permission, or you know, was after something, my dad would say, "Go to your room, put your arguments, your facts together, and make your case. Come back up to my room."
There you go, prosecutor.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I learned from that. Okay, I can do this. I learned to become a very good advocate for myself at a young age, to use my voice. And he said, "Kimberly, never be afraid of the no. Don't live your life where you have regrets, where you wonder and think and contemplate. Things could have turned out differently had I had the courage."
If only.
Yeah, and kind of the self-esteem to be able to go and pursue my dreams.
Have there been a lot of no's for you?
I don't like no too much, but you know what? I'd rather take a no and build on it and turn it into a yes than have never put the idea or the question or the thought forward. So
No, but
that's how I've lived
have
it.
you, because
Well,
you've
sure,
got, I mean, you've
absolutely.
had so much success.
There's times where people say no, or you can't have this job or this internship, but I've used those opportunities as, you know, teachable moments, but also maybe it made me pivot in a different path that ended up working out strongly to my benefit. Like when I left the San Francisco DA's office, I went down to the Los Angeles District Attorney's office, and I was able to try a tremendous amount of very serious cases and work in gang neighborhoods, impoverished neighborhoods, and really make a difference and be impactful in those communities. So it was from all of that experience that I became the prosecutor that I was. I was able to return back to San Francisco, which I had vowed, and then tried the dog mauling case, got offers to come work in television, so it came full circle.
Great,
you know, and my father was alive when I came to New York, you know, and here I was so happy in San Francisco with my family, with my, you know, my father and my brother, but my dad didn't want me to be held back because I wanted to play it safe. He said, "You know what? God's given you great opportunities in life. This is happening. Be courageous, be fearless, and go pursue it. Worst case scenario, if you don't like it, you could come home, but at least you've tried."
And your mom must be so proud of you,
yeah,
looking down on you for all these years and all that you've accomplished. And the book is all about her personal story, folks, Making the Case, How to Be Your Own Best Advocate. I want to talk about, you said prosecutor and at the cases. I want to play a soundbite from Marilyn Mosby.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
This one.
A video. Let's watch her.
What I've been very clear about is that I'm not going to litigate this case in the media. I'll litigate it in the courtroom, so I'm not going to discuss my evidence or the strategy or any of that.
Well, just speaking of, on this issue of drug use and cutting down on drug abuse, you ordered the police department to follow the Mountain Street, North Street area.
Once again, I'm not going to...
Not this case. I'm just talking about drug...
I cannot talk about the specifics of any of this case. Prosecutorial ethics precludes me from doing so.
Prosecutorial ethics. When did she start worrying about that?
When did that get delivered? Via carrier pigeon? Because it was a little late, right?
Wow.
Well, she was making very incendiary comments about this case were highly inappropriate for a prosecutor. Having tried so many high-profile cases, I know the role, I know the job, and the oath we take. She was saying, we will get justice by any means, and really turned kind of a public campaign against law enforcement, which is not at all what she's supposed to be doing in her position.
She was speaking like an advocate.
Absolutely. And I said, you know, if you didn't know better, you think it was somebody that was working for Al Sharpton.
Absolutely.
Going through and saying these things, which does not help the public confidence or restore order to the situation. Then you saw her bring charges very quickly. Listen, if the charges are there, they're there. But take the time to investigate fully and thoroughly so that you don't create a situation like we saw with Rodney King, where, you know, you overpromise, underdeliver, and then riots ensue in a community, especially there where so many people have suffered, innocent people, hardworking, whose businesses were looted and burned and their families' lives destroyed.
Is it because she's inexperienced, or is it because she's an advocate at heart?
I think it's both. I think it's both.
Yeah.
We don't have to decide which one it is more. There's probably a percentage of each.
Rupert Murdoch is stepping down. Have you dealt with Rupert Murdoch at all?
I've met him a few times. I know he likes the Five, so we're happy about that. He's fantastic. So is the whole family.
And his sons are taking over, so it's all in the family still, as far as you're concerned?
And then we have our fearless leader, Roger Ailes, who's incredible. He's the one that created the Five and came up with the idea for it.
The debate, there's been a lot of scuttlebutt about the debate. Fox was going to take the top 10 tier candidates, or the top 8, whatever, of the Republican presidential candidates, and put them in the nighttime debate. And Rick Santorum and others said you should have 2 debates because there's a lot of candidates who are going to get left out. Carly Fiorina, maybe Rick Santorum, and others who are, I would believe, to be important voices. So now there's going to be two forums, one in the afternoon and one, or in the morning, and one at night. Do you buy into that?
I think this is a fantastic idea. I want to hear from them. I want to hear them make the case for themselves, be compelling, give them the forum. There's some very talented and interesting candidates in here, and like Rick Santorum in particular has a lot of appeal, and he's done very well, as you know, in the past in Iowa. So give him a chance to come forward. Carly Fiorina as well has been pretty fearless in terms of taking on Hillary Clinton. She showed up, she's prepared, she'll answer questions, she's not afraid to get after it. I personally really like that, so she's making the media talk to her. She'll show up at an event where Hillary's not talking, but Carly will.
Right, and it's Bill Hemmer and
Martha McCallum. They host America's Newsroom. I was just on with them this morning.
You wish you were in that debate forum?
You know what? I'll be happy to watch it. If they ever asked me to host it, I would do it as well. But these are 2 of my closest friends and most admired colleagues. They do. They're part of the election coverage team. So you're going to be getting, you know, the best and the brightest at Fox on top of this.
Let me ask you about Fox, and I know Fox News is one division in the Fox TV and all that. There are other divisions. There's a series that's due to start, Lucifer. I don't know if you're familiar with that at all, but
the devil.
Well, I mean, I mean the series.
Right.
I know we all know Lucifer, but a lot of parents groups and other groups, conservative groups, are speaking out. They shouldn't be put on television, and you know it mocks the church, etc. What's your take on something like that?
Yeah, I mean, look, people are going to put what they want out there on television. That's a separate division, you know, from Fox News. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't watch something like that. That's my choice. But this is how the free market operates in this country. If it's something that you are opposed to or you don't want your children or family to see, then do not watch it. And the market can send a message.
And you have a young boy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't let him sit there and
8
watch
years
it,
old.
I guess.
No, I would not. I would not.
It's such a pleasure to meet you.
Such a pleasure. Yeah, thank you for being here.
Good luck with the book, Making the Case, Kimberly Guilfoyle, and of course, watch her on Fox News channel.
At 5 o'clock, and this is a new national bestseller, so I'm excited about that.
Congratulations. I'm not surprised. More success. They didn't say no to the book.
You got to work hard.
And you do. All right, Webb Hubble is next, folks. We'll have an interesting conversation with him about Hillary and Bill. Don't go away.